Mr. Reichlin-Melnick for 5 minutes to summarize his opening statement.
Chairman Green, Ranking Member Thompson, and distinguished members of the committee. My name is Aaron Reichlin-Melnick, and I am Policy Director at the American Immigration Council. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to the belief that immigrants are part of our national fabric and to ensuring that the United States provides a fair process for all immigrants, including those seeking protection. The Council has long studied the economic impacts of immigration to the United States, including for groups who, like migrants crossing the border today, do not arrive through programs that pre-select immigrants based on their economic benefit. Our data reveals that refugees, temporary protected status holders, and undocumented immigrants collectively contribute over $56 billion in federal, state, and local taxes every year, help fuel economies through high entrepreneurship rates, and make outsized contributions in many of the key fields powering American economic growth. I'm grateful for the opportunity to provide our analysis on the financial impact of migration and to offer ways to unlock the talents of newly arrived migrants and reduce fiscal impacts on local budgets. My testimony aims to emphasize two key perspectives. First, economic research carried out at the Council and by academics around the world have shown that immigrants of all types, including humanitarian immigrants like asylum seekers, contribute substantially to the United States economy and generally provide a net benefit to our finances. Even refugees who receive extensive federal support on arrival will over their lifetime pay more into the system than they take out of it. It's long been said that immigration is this country's secret sauce. Many of our ancestors came here with nothing more than a few dollars and a dream and made this country their home, contributing their talents and making us the richest and most powerful nation in history. Unfortunately, the last time Congress updated our legal immigration system was November 1990, 1 month before the World Wide Web went online and when the Soviet Union was still around. The immigration process today is plagued by exorbitant fees, unnecessary barriers, and decades-long delays. But as the system becomes increasingly inaccessible, the need for robust immigration has only increased. As baby boomers age out of the workforce, we risk going the way of Japan or China, facing a steep demographic cliff which threatens to erase decades of economic gains and weaken our status internationally. That's why our research shows that we need immigrants of all skill levels to keep America thriving and great. Second, when examining the economic impact of migration, we must recognize the ways in which our outdated humanitarian protection systems act as a barrier to migrant self-sufficiency, leading to unnecessary and counterproductive strains on local budgets. The most prominent example of this is Congress's decision in 1996 to bar asylum applicants from receiving work authorization until 180 days after filing the application. At the time, most asylum cases were decided within 6 months. Today, the average asylum case takes 4 to 6 years or longer. Even if Congress was right 27 years ago that a restriction on work permits would have a marginal deterrent effect on asylum seekers, today this restriction causes nothing but harm. It has forced state and local governments to provide emergency assistance for people who want to support themselves but are banned from doing so. It bears repeating. Migrants wouldn't need long-term shelter if they could pay for an apartment themselves, and Congress has the authority to make that possible. Over the last decade, the need for us to get humanitarian protection right has become increasingly important as growing numbers of people around the world resort to irregular pathways to seek safety and a better life. Today, displacement and migration are at record levels globally, not just in the Western Hemisphere and certainly not just to the United States. Unfortunately, rather than respond to the situation with innovative ideas and a rekindled commitment to humanitarian leadership, the United States keeps doubling down on ineffective deterrence policies and costly measures like border walls, which fail to stem migration or lead to improvements in resilient processing systems. Over the last 20 years, we've spent $200 billion on ICE and the Border Patrol and less than $9 billion on immigration courts to adjudicate those cases. So is it any surprise that we're seeing record backlogs? The federal government undoubtedly can do more to shield local budgets from the incidental costs of responding to this migration. If we change our approach by funding adjudication, building dedicated processing centers, revamping outdated laws, and ensuring a national response for a national issue, we can build a modern humanitarian protection system that is fair, flexible, robust, and that unlocks the talents that immigrants have long brought to this country. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, sir. And